Electricians are wired just a bit differently. They're determined, driven to take pride in a job well done and be the best of the best. The IDEAL National Championship is the ultimate skills competition for every electrician across the globe. Now we're lighting the path to the title. 2 electricians will earn the chance of a lifetime at the 2020 IDEAL National Championship Invitational. From Chicago, Illinois, the city that works, we welcome you to the 2020 IDEAL National Championship Invitational. Today, we'll showcase the men and women that keep the lights on and the world humming. We've assembled 6 of the nation's top professional and student apprentice electricians for all you wire nuts. Hi, I'm Jason Benetti here with the electrifying Scott Karen, and we've got a treat for you. Last year, 58,000 electricians across the country attempted to qualify for the IDEAL National Championship, but only 162 made the cut. Today, we've got a brand new and exciting spin on the IDEAL National Championship. In today's invitational, we've gathered the best of the best and given them the opportunity to bypass that rigorous qualification process and punch their ticket straight to Nashville for the national championships.
That's right, Jason. Today's competition gives 6 electricians the chance to win a golden ticket, a coveted automatic bid into the 2021 IDEAL National Championship in Nashville. But first, they will compete in 4 different stages that will challenge their workmanship, efficiency, and teamwork.
You're some of the best electricians in the country, and we couldn't be happier to have you. So
these electricians will team up, professional with student apprentice, but we are throwing a huge wrench in their plans right off the bat. None of our 6 competitors knows who they'll be competing with, and they won't find out until right before we flip the switch. Great fun, right?
Yes, certainly is. And you know, that really changes the whole dynamic of this competition and adds a true real-world element. I've worked on thousands of job sites. Sometimes you know your crew, sometimes you don't. And you have to be able to adjust to the skills of your fellow electricians and to get the job done and done right.
Scott, it's quite the gauntlet these teams will have to run through to win. And speaking of that competition, we've got a great one set up today. For each stage, a team can earn up to 100 points based on their workmanship, safety, and the time in which they finish. Workmanship is worth 70% of their score. Safety is worth 20%, and their time is worth 10. At the end of the competition, the team with the most total points wins. And we want to note this competition follows all CDC guidelines and that all of our competitors were tested prior to competing, so they won't be wearing masks today while they work in close quarters. Let's take a look at the order of events. They start with a conduit door trace and drywall cut. Stage 2 is an overhead service challenge. Then they race through a rough-in remodel in Stage 3. And rounding it out in Stage 4 is the grand finale, a wiring and programming door code challenge. Last year, 58,000 electricians tried to qualify, but only 162 did. So this golden ticket you're talking about is a huge leap forward at winning at nationals. Which pro and apprentice will be the best of the best today? Which 4 will go home empty-handed? We are about to find out. And now we meet the 3rd member of our team, Chip Wade.
Today's competition has assembled some of the best electricians from all over the country, both student apprentices and journeymen. They're all at the top of their game, but this competition is a totally different animal than what they're used to. They've got the lights, cameras, an unfamiliar partner, and they're racing against the clock. It's anybody's guess who's going to come out on top today. Now it's time to meet our competitors, starting with the apprentices.
From Atlanta, Georgia, student apprentice, Tyquez Faulkner.
I can bend pipe around just about anything. I'll walk up on a job site and start acting like I'm in charge. The confidence is what carries a lot of it.
From San Francisco, California, student apprentice, Noreen Buckley.
It's really rewarding because I go in there and I hold my own against everybody every day, and I walk out with my head held high, and nobody can take that away from me.
And from Sugar Grove, Illinois, student apprentice, Alex Cook.
I feel like every day you should go out to be the best electrician that you can be, And so if you do that every single day, when you come to the competition, it should be just normal.
Now let's bring out the pros. From Phoenix, Arizona, Eric Brandenburg.
I've been doing this for 16 years. It's nice to see it all come to something like this to kind of show the collection of your knowledge and your experience and put it out there on display.
From San Francisco, California, Kristen Clayton.
Being a woman, you have to work 3 times as hard, be 3 times as smart. My expectation is I'm going to tackle it like any other work day and do the best that I can.
And from Elgin, Illinois, Greg Anlicker.
I'm hoping today to get a free invite for next year's competition. Bring it, right? Like it's going to be fun regardless.
That's quite the impressive lineup of electricians. Now let's take one look at the entire field, brought to you by Discount Tire. Look, Scott, we've only been doing this for a couple years together, but if I were one of our 3 student apprentices, I'd be crossing my fingers that I get paired up with Greg Anlicker, who's the most decorated pro in IDEAL National Championship history.
It certainly is, Jason. And, that sounds like a great plan, but I wouldn't plug my hopes into any single outlet. The key to this competition is matching up strengths and weaknesses. There's no electrician that's perfect, and we all have some skills that are better than others. The best team will be the one that melts together quickly.
Like we said, these 6 competitors don't even know each other, let alone ever work together before. These pros and student apprentices, though, are at the top of their game, and they know what they're looking for in a teammate.
Going into this competition, not knowing who my partner is, makes it a little bit awkward.
I usually work by myself.
As an apprentice, our biggest thing is to really help out the journeyman, and he'll be really running the show.
I'm kind of amped. Yeah, I'm ready for it.
A good apprentice asks questions. Oftentimes, if it's a tough question, then that's going to make me a better electrician.
An important part of being a good journeyman is understanding how your apprentice learns and being able to effectively teach him rather than just kind of give him a task and let him go.
Somebody that's actually listening to words that I say, and somebody that's willing to pause and kind of ask me what I know.
It'll be good to work with someone else. I've got my flaws. Maybe my partner can pick me up where I lack.
All right, let's head down to Chip to see who's teaming up today.
First up on the gray team, we have Eric Brandenburg and Tyquez Faulkner.
These guys are going to have a blast together. You can tell right off the bat they're kindred spirits.
Next up for the black team, we have Greg Anlicker and Noreen Buckley.
Greg Anlicker is the Michael Jordan of electricians. As a student apprentice, Noreen's got to be happy about that pairing.
And now on the blue team, we have Kristen Clayton and Alex Cook.
Kristen and Alex both really want to be here. They really want that golden ticket. The big question, though, is can they work together?
Let's head down to Chip Wade for a look at the blueprints for round 1.
The first stage is tracing and cutting a doorway through the 8-foot wall of sheetrock for a future door installation. They'll need to first use their circuit tracer to find the conduit and accurately mark its path with stickers. Then they'll use their saw to precisely cut out the drywall to the correct dimension for the door installation. When the task is complete, they'll walk through the doorway and hit the button to stop their clock. They'll be judged on workmanship, safety, and time. All work must meet National Electrical Code standards.
We have our teams, and now our competitors must quickly acquaint themselves and plot out a plan of attack as they get their bearings at their workstations. Scott, as we listen in, what would you be discussing right now?
You see this a lot on job sites when you're working with somebody new. They're just getting to know each other, so they're probably figuring out who's going to do what based on what tasks they are experienced with. And ultimately, settle on what will give them the best chances to do great work safely and quickly. And all eyes are on this guy, Greg Anlicker, winner of the IDEAL Championships in 2016, 17, and 19. He also won teams competition twice, but he knew his teammates then. Now he's trying to qualify with student apprentice Noreen Buckley. I mean, they just met.
Just so you know, if I start telling you what to do, I won't say please.
Yeah.
Or my wife's like, is that the way you talk to people at work? I'm like, yeah, it is. I just like, just hook this up, or like I want whatever. I won't yell at you by any means.
I got you. No, I'll
Yeah.
I'm a good apprentice.
Okay, yeah.
Let's head down to Chip to get us started.
Predators, are we ready? Yeah. Gray team, black team, blue team, on the air horn in 3, 2, 1.
The first round is underway. Scott, looks like the first thing they're all doing at once is measuring. I'd imagine that's something you have to be really careful with on the job.
No doubt about it, Jason. The old adage, measure twice, cut once, is a vital thing to remember in this trade. And in this competition, especially if they measure incorrectly and cut that door out in the wrong spot, they're losing big points. Their task here, Jason, is to use that tracer to identify where the energized circuit is in that wall. You cannot see through walls. I know you may think so, but you can't.
I read a lot of comic books, to be honest.
Well, that superhero is not in this contest, I'll tell you. The other responsibility they have is to identify where the circuit is by using those little green dots, and they have to trace out the whole path. Now, they have to be within 2 inches of that circuit.
So where do the dots need to go? Like, how precise do they have to be as we watch them place the dots?
They have to be approximately every 4 inches away. That's what this contest is down to.
While our competitors trace and get set to cut, we're going to cut away quickly, but when we return, we'll find out who has the right stuff in this first stage of the 2020 IDEAL National Championship Invitational.
The 2020 IDEAL National Championship Invitational is brought to you by IDEAL Electrical, the electrician's champion. Duluth Trading and their new line of workwear basics, 40 Grit, built simple on purpose. And by Little Giant, the Little Giant King Combo, the king of ladders, proudly made in the U.S.
We're back at the 2020 IDEAL National Championship Invitational, where we are in the thick of a hard-fought first round. Scott, you've spent a lot of time on job sites. What are you seeing right now through the lens of a professional?
Going this way.
Well, Jason, this first round is relying heavily on the tracer. Greg, in black, clearly has experience with it.
I need to check that as well.
Kristen and Alex on blue look like they've got the hang of it.
Get the ladder, do the upper
Though
part.
I am surprised to see that Tyquez on the gray team, the student apprentice, is the one operating the tracer.
That conduit trick worked pretty good for us right.
Let's head down to Chip Wade for an update. Chip.
Greg and Noreen actually seem to be struggling visually a little bit. They're using the circuit tracer, and obviously it's a tool that I know Greg has used before. I'm not sure Noreen's experience with it, but they just seem to be kind of blindly passing over the wall. They're putting the stickers on the wall to denote where they have identified where the circuit is going, but you just have to know how to use the equipment and have confidence. And right now, I see them struggling.
What does Chip mean by using the tracer with confidence?
They have to rely on that tracer, which works fantastically, to identify where that circuit is, because they're going to be cutting a door in right here. Right now, you can see Eric, he's riding that stud right down that wall. That's a nice straight line for him.
So we're just talking about straight line cuts here.
Now you can see Eric, he just ran across the stud right there, but he's going to choose just to cut right through it.
Eric, as he punches through the wall. Chip, what's shaking?
Gray team is finally cutting through drywall. They've got their entire circuit labeled. I'm not sure if it's correct yet, but they appear to be in a strong leadership role.
Real quick, you were talking about cutting through the stud. What are his options in that case?
He could have held the reciprocating saw a little bit more shallow and chose to go right over the stud.
All right, so Eric and Tyquez have the stud out of the way, and they walk through the door and hit the button to finish first. All right, Chip standing by with Eric and Tyquez in first.
How was it? You feel confident?
Yeah, it's good teamwork. You got a plan going. Nice. Felt really good.
Now, I noticed that you two seem to work really well together right out of the gate. Y'all weren't standing around watching each other work. One person was tracing the circuit, the other was doing the layout effectively. Do y'all feel like y'all had great chemistry?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. We had a good game plan. You know, we looked it over just like we would in the real world. Let's talk about what we need to do. This is what you're good at. This is what I'm good at. Let's just kill it.
I was saying, I feel like we're the kind of yin and yang based off of personalities. I just had a feeling they'd put me with him, and we talked it out, discussed who was going to do what, and it worked out.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully it's correct, and you guys took the first competition.
Yeah, there we go.
It appears with ease.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, there goes the black team. Greg Anliker, Noreen Buckley, and they are through.
You know, it's surprising because Eric decided to cut the stud at the top of that doorway, but Greg and Noreen, they didn't cut the stud. They just smashed it through. That's exactly why they used the circuit tracer to identify where that conduit is. You can see how close they were with cutting that drywall to that conduit. They were only inches away, and that would have been bad news if you clipped that.
Nice work. You were quick and everything open.
Greg Anliker, three-time national champion, finishing second with Noreen Buckley and Alex Cook from Illinois, Kristen Clayton from California. Team Blue still working on that door, continuing its work. What are we watching here, Scott?
You can see they each have their own different technique. They decided we're going to cut the top of the stud and push everything over at once.
Did you cut out the slice, cut out the floor plate? That's fine.
And they hit the button, and the blue team finishes third. A lot of conversation about everybody going to be okay. It's only one event so far. As the scores will be tabulated, the judges are looking at the workmanship right now. A look at the Little Giant leaderboard finds Team Gray gets 10 points for finishing first. Team Black gets 5 for second, and Team Blue comes up empty in third.
That's right. They've done what they can. Now they have to step back and let the judges do what they're there to do.
We'll let the judges do what they do. The competitors have a lot of energy that they're going to show off during this hour, and we'll see what the scores are when we come back.
My expectations are for it to be a great time. I would compete in this competition with no prize money.
It's also really rewarding because I go in there and I hold my own against everybody every day, and I walk out with my head held high.
It's pretty exciting, you know. The more I heard about it, you know, it's a good opportunity to kind of promote the trades.
It's unbelievable. My favorite part about it actually is that it brings such a big spotlight to this trade. If you plan and you can communicate with your teammate, you know, you can do anything. We're all here together for one thing, and that's to come together and try to win a championship.
We are back at the 2020 IDEAL National Championship Invitational, and the judges have turned in their scorecards. Look at that. The black team, despite finishing second, is in first place because of that perfect score in workmanship. The gray team easily finished before him, but were marked down. Top scores in safety and time, however. And the blue team also had a perfect safety score and with the same workmanship score as the gray team, but were blanked on time due to that last place finish.
Holy cow.
Right?
Our three teams are plotting strategy once again, especially since they only worked together for about 10 minutes. Team Black is our current leader, so Team Gray and Team Blue have to step it up, especially when it comes to workmanship. So we head down to Chip to get them started.
Here comes stage 2 in 3, 2, 1.
Oh, they rolled this way.
And we are underway with stage 2 here at the 2020 IDEAL National Championship Invitational. All teams are scrambling into position with a plan in place. Stage 2 is the small home build-out. And for more detail, let's head back to Chip for a rundown of the Duluth Trading Company blueprints.
Stage 2 is a wiring and connecting challenge on an outdoor service of this small home build-out. They'll start on the meter enclosure, where they'll install a service riser, which will need to run straight up and through a hole they'll drill in the house eave. To complete the installation of the service riser, they'll push the conductors and terminate and install the weatherhead. When they're complete, they'll hit the button to stop the clock. They'll be judged on workmanship, safety, and time. All work must meet National Electrical Code standards.
Scott, what's the strategy going into this round?
Teamwork and communication is really going to be the most important factor here, Jason. They've got to do the work on both the outside and the inside of this structure. Most of these guys, Jason, are right-handed. You can see Greg here. He's fighting with that because he's going up at an angle, but they really want to be going up straight. You can see the hole saw just popped off the drill there.
Why does it matter whether you're going in at an angle?
They need to go plumb, which is straight up. And if they don't go plumb, it's going to really fight that conduit when it comes through the roof.
So what went wrong with this first one as we take a look at the replay?
Yeah, he didn't have the chuck tight enough, and that hole saw just popped right off. It looks like he's corrected it, and he went right up plumb through the roof itself.
It's right here. Already taking a little metal thing off.
Team Blue talking it over. Kristen Clayton, Alex Cook. What do you like about what they're doing here?
Kristen certainly says what's on her mind. I can see that she's speaking a lot to Alex, and he's listening, and he's a great apprentice.
Grab that salt.
Eric is trying to get that conduit through the roof. Now, there's about 12 inches in between the top plywood and the lower plywood. Those holes have to be aligned precisely, and you can see what's happening here. The pipe's going crooked. It's not getting into that mini clip down below, Jason.
You good, Greg?
Yeah, you're all good. I got plenty.
Folks who are new to this competition, where are we looking on the screen to see this workmanship and what's going wrong?
Yeah, so right now Eric's getting really frustrated, Jason, because the conduit is not going through those two holes that he probably spent the better part of 7 minutes trying to line them up.
How much of a miss is this?
Yeah, that's a good 1.5 inches, 2 inches, Jason. It's not going in there. He's got a third tool on here now. He's got the reciprocating saw. Put away his hammer. Now he's just going to cut an oblong hole and give it hell.
Sounds like a by experience thing for you. Let's head down to Chip Wade for an update. Chip?
Black team seems to be working much better together this round. You can see they're working on different things, one on the inside, one on the outside. It looks like they have a strong lead so far.
Greg and Noreen once again are really cooking here, Scott.
They are, and Noreen, she has to tie in those wires. Her job is to remove the outside insulation from the wires and land them on the lugs. Landing them on the lug is a term that we use for putting the wire under the terminal and tightening it down.
This thing. Unbelievable.
Noreen, are you done with landing anything?
What makes this part so difficult, and what makes it so easy for somebody like Greg Anlicker?
Yeah, Greg, you know, he's definitely got huge talent with bending pipe and working with conduit. That's been proven in the past competitions, Jason.
Go ahead and get the Allen ready for the torque. If you want.
A lot of the times, you just tend to jump in and do it without showing.
Can't do nothing, Greg. We're doing the same thing, man. It's not productive.
Okay. Go for it.
All right.
I'm gonna terminate the hots on the other side.
And Noreen just told him where to go and how to get there. She can't do anything. She's just watching him. Man, that's great. That shows you how confident she is in her work and the strength that she has about making sure there's a clear path to finishing up the tasks that they need to do.
You're good on length, right? I can terminate the neutral too.
Yep.
Okay. Let's rephase tape those neutrals to make them look good.
I'm ready for wire whenever you're ready.
I'm ready for wire whenever you're ready, says Eric Brandenburg.
Yep, so now the next thing is to push those wires up that service mast and out through that weatherhead, and they're going to terminate them down on the meter socket itself.
Right up to you in just a couple seconds.
Watch Team Blue and Team Black working simultaneously.
Yep, real important here, Jason, is there's 3 conductors coming down from that weatherhead. 2 of them have to be unmarked or black, and then the other one has to be identified with some white tape. Real critical, real important step in workmanship.
Why so critical?
Boy, you don't want to mix up the hot and the neutral. Things go bang, pop, pow.
Sounds like you don't. Definitely don't want that to happen.
Looks good. Looks good.
Greg says looks good, looks good, looks good.
I'll throw it on.
Anything else after that?
As long as you get the tube.
Do you need me to
So Eric is putting the weatherhead on. Greg's putting the cover on the meter enclosure.
Over here.
Double checking things.
Hit the buzzer?
Yeah. You do it. You do it. You do it. You do it.
Asking Noreen, is everything good?
And there's the buzzer. A little discussion over who was going to hit the button. Greg says you do it, and Noreen slams on it to finish first once again, Team Black.
Yeah, all the wires are over there. They should be pretty close to where they need to go.
You got a ground wire in there?
Oh, no, I don't. That'll be the last one. We got space.
How easy is it to lose your composure in an event like this?
Pretty easy. considering the amount of time that they're given to do an extraordinary task like this. We usually allow half a day to do something like this. They're asked to do it in a very short amount of time.
Again, these competitors have just met each other, just getting used to working together. Kristen Clayton from the West Coast, Alex from Sugar Grove in Illinois.
Alex, how you doing over there?
Oh, loving life.
Oh, good, me too.
All right, so Team Blue and Team Gray are still going. Again, workmanship matters more than anything here. Yes, the time component is 10%, and Team Black's already done, but there's a lot to be had in terms of points for these two teams.
Neutral to 45. Here it goes.
You good?
Yeah.
All right, it looks like Team Gray is just about to come to the end here.
Good? You feel good?
Yep.
Come on, come on, come on, come on.
A little bit of hustle in their step, and now they hit the button. Eric and Tyquez are in second time-wise here in stage 2.
We're going to get this now. Okay. Do you have your tape measure on?
Yeah.
Can you get it? I think it's probably
Let's
like
just do it that way. Let's do it that way.
We're going to make it work. I got the noodle already.
I'm going to get this going.
And then I'm going to get the A and B phase good.
Why is everything a freaking...
Eric and Tyquez, I don't even think, noticed that Team Black had finished. They were so locked in on their work.
I know.
Yeah, you certainly get fixated on the work in front of you, just making sure that everything you're doing is accurate.
All right, so Team Blue is still finishing up here. And again, workmanship matters substantially.
Let's hit the button.
All right, let's go.
So they are ready to go and hit the button. And we are through stage number 2. Stage 3 coming up. Team Black dominated and gets 10 points for finishing first. Team Gray falls to second and earns 5 points, while Team Blue still hasn't scored in the time portion of the contest. The judges are scrutinizing each and every screw turn and connection, and these competitors know there's a golden ticket up for grabs at the 2020 IDEAL National Championship Invitational. Welcome back to the 2020 IDEAL National Championship Invitational. We've seen these electricians go toe-to-toe with incredible challenges and each other. When these electricians aren't competing, they're working hard every single day.
Up to here, done in 26 days.
There are some really awesome stories about these electricians, and you can check them all out online in IDEAL's Wire to Wire series. We're halfway through the competition, and a golden ticket to Nationals in Nashville is on the line. We're now getting a look at the judges' scores from round 2. Let's see the standings. Team Black still in the lead, followed by Gray and Blue. All 3 teams earning perfect scores on safety, but Blue and Gray didn't fare as well, losing points in workmanship and time. And so, the Black team holds on to their lead for now, but it is far from over here in Chicago. As for what lies ahead in Stage 3, well, let's head down to Chip Wade for a closer look at the blueprints. Chip.
The third stage is a rough-in remodel, modeling both an upper and a lower circuit along this 16-foot wall. They'll need to precisely cut away drywall to install 2 receptacle openings and 2 low-voltage openings. To feed those boxes, they'll drill through the studs and joists to run conduit, coax, and non-metallic cable to the correct boxes. As soon as they're done, they'll hit the button to stop the clock. They'll be judged on workmanship, safety, and time. All work must meet National Electrical Code standards.
I feel good about it. I feel really good.
Yeah, I think we got a really good game plan, right?
Yeah.
All right, they're talking it over. You hear Team Gray loving their game plan, Eric and Tyquez. Team Blue, Kristen and Alex talking it over as well, and Greg and Noreen, who've worked so fantastically together, once again ready to rock.
Guys and gals, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Listen for the horn.
Chip's got the air horn.
Stage
Let's do
3,
it.
here we come in 3, 2, 1.
And off we go. What's the first step in this Stage 3, Scott?
What they've been asked to do first is to expose the wall where they're going to be working. There's studs every 16 inches on center. They've got to locate those studs so they can drill holes and run wires in them. They're going to start by removing the drywall.
How do you best remove drywall?
They're going to start to lay out some lines right now to remove the drywall. Some teams are going to use straight edges, as you can see. Other teams are just going to wing it and draw lines. I like this style. They're using the torpedo level here with a piece of conduit as their straight edge. There's no right or wrong here. They just got to get that drywall off the studs.
Why choose one over the other here?
I think that using a straight edge is a lot more workmanship-like. It's clean. It's going to be easier for that repair person to come in afterwards and patch. It does look nice when they have straight lines.
How do you split the tasks here to start?
They've got a lot of drywall to remove here, Jason. We're just going to start hacking away.
Low it is, huh?
Ooh, yeah.
It looks like Noreen is having a tough time there with that auger bit.
Let's take another look.
That bit is made to pull through the stud. She's wrestling with that drill. It's at a funky angle.
Where's that?
Let's go downstairs to Chip.
Kristen's putting a number on this drill. She's getting all of the through holes with that big auger bit. That is really, really tough on the forearms. It takes a lot of strength to blast that drill bit through all these 2x. It's pretty impressive.
There we go.
Thanks, Chip. What does that feel like that Chip's talking about on the forearms?
To try and hold on to that drill. That auger bit is almost 7/8 of an inch thick. It's going through an 1.5 inch, 2x4. There's a lot of torque on that. She's holding on to that like no tomorrow.
See Noreen continuing through the holes.
Noreen's got a great technique there. She's holding that battery. That's where all the leverage is. She's doing a great job punching through those studs.
A lot of talking between Tyquez and Eric and Gray.
Yep, Eric is giving Tyquez just directions on where to put the heights. He's doing a great job mounting those boxes. You can see Greg down low mounting that 4-inch square. Tyquez is up on that ladder. He's mounting a receptacle and a coax location. That would be if you wanted to have a television mounted on your wall. That's exactly what we would do. We would put a receptacle there with a coax for the cable.
Let's go downstairs to Chip.
It looks like the blue team is already moving into bending some of their conduit. Bending conduit is one of those skills that takes practice and you can't fake it. So you don't really get a second chance. You either know what you're doing or you don't.
Kristen certainly has bent conduit before. She did that with ease. She did it. She could tell it was a perfect right angle.
You got that hole I need?
A lot of talking. Communication, once again, so important. Noreen and Greg came in first place. Greg going to town on the bandsaw here, Scott.
Certainly makes light work of cutting that pipe. Now also, when we're working with that conduit, we've got to make sure when we pull it through those studs, there's no dog legs, there's no rolls, there's no ripples, there's no kinks. The judges are going to be looking for that. You can see Greg, he's strong-arming it right through all those studs. That's why it's so important that they got those holes aligned perfectly.
Bending 1/2 inch with my...
You good? You need help?
Yeah, give me... Go ahead, go, push. Thank you, cool.
There you go.
All right.
Come on, where's your coupling?
Coupling's back there.
I got it. Here.
All right, so Greg and Noreen, once again, these are two people that just met. Their teamwork is impeccable, Scott.
Strap over here.
They're doing a good job. They're certainly in sync with each other.
All right, let's watch the replay here of Eric. What do you see here?
It takes two of them to push that conduit through those studs.
I don't care. We're getting it in there.
Gotta be quality now.
What's that?
Gotta be quality.
Oh, it's quality. It'll be great. I'm pulling the conduit between your legs.
You're good.
Tyquez right now is cutting the conduit that goes to the other location.
This bandsaw cuts like butter.
Just make sure your finger ain't butter.
Did you hear Eric? He said, just make sure your finger ain't butter.
The hacksaw is gone. I hate to say it. Just a wonderful tool.
We want the square drive, number 2 in that thing.
Number 2, what do we got here?
You got Greg working on the electrical panel. Noreen came right up behind him. She's got the proper torque tool, handing him the next tool that he's going to need.
What else do we need?
I guess clean up a little.
Setting it on the right setting.
You can't do anything over here.
Yep.
Make it look
This
nice.
is a
Put
great
stuff away.
example of what a student apprentice is supposed to be
You
like.
got your ground
That is
connection?
that is
Make sure your
fantastic.
straps are all good.
Yep.
Such calm confidence. Clean up a little, says Greg as well. I mean, that's part of this, right? Making sure that you have a clean workstation and workspace.
That's part of the safety issue. Workmanship is part of that also.
Hold on.
Yeah, there's a level of detail from him being a prior champion.
Got
and
it.
a level of
New rolls
confidence
here.
as well. Downstairs to Chip.
There's 2 separate circuits going in. There's low voltage, they're all running conduit, they're running non-metallic cable, installing mud rings. There's so many different things going on that the order of operations really dictates how fast they're able to accomplish it. Each team has a different strategy. We'll have to see who comes out on top.
K10 is 3, correct?
Workmanship,
Yes.
safety, timing.
We're killing it. We got it.
Your
We got
3
it.
factors to make
Strap,
100%.
beautiful.
Again, double and triple checking. Noreen on her way to the button, and she slams it again. So the black team, once again, is first time-wise trying to build on this sturdy lead.
You ready? Come on, come on, come on.
We got to work it.
They certainly are, and I can see Gray is right behind them, Jason. I don't know, they're doing good.
Let's go downstairs to Chip with Team Black.
Wow, another great show.
Yeah.
You guys seemed quiet, but y'all were making great progress. I think that you guys had an awesome game plan coming into this one.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we made sure we stayed out of each other's way, and yeah.
It pretty much all went as planned, I
Yeah.
would say, too. We spent a lot of time, trying to think this
Yeah.
through, and it all timed out well.
I must
Yeah.
say I've done enough drywall finishing in my day to know that I'm going to blame this on electricians from here on out.
Yeah.
Keep it nice and easy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome, thanks guys. Good job.
Eric and Tyquez.
And
And together they push the button.
nice. Oh my goodness.
2 hands in 1 on the
Wait on that
red button.
There we go.
Y'all were hustling that round.
And so it was 2025.
What do you think of Team Blue's work here?
They're on the home stretch here. They're landing all the connections, Jason, making sure the torque settings are correct.
And here they go to the button. And it's Kristen pushing the button to finish for Team Blue here in stage 3.
Sweaty.
Sweaty.
Oh, yeah.
So now it's up to the judges. They look everything over. Stage 3, a rinse and repeat of stage 2 when it comes to the race against the clock. A look at the Little Giant leaderboard finds Team Black collecting 10 points, Team Gray 5, and Team Blue is shut out. We'll let the judges score their work. 1 stage left. 1 final obstacle between 1 team and a trip to Nashville. Who will find the winning combination next? At the 2020 IDEAL National Championship Invitational. If you're interested in competing in the 2021 IDEAL National Championship in Nashville, Tennessee, log on to idealnationals.com for more information on regional qualifying. We're back, and this prize is still up for grabs. A golden ticket to the 2021 IDEAL National Championship in Nashville. 1 final stage stands between our 3 teams and victory. The judges' verdict is in, and Team Black scored another win in stage 3. They have an absolutely commanding lead headed into our final test, but victory is far from assured. Our last stage has a scoring twist that could keep Greg and Noreen out of the winner's circle. Chip Wade standing by with the Duluth Trading Company blueprints and details on how this stage will be scored. Chip?
For the 4th and final stage, they're trying to get through a door that requires a 5-digit code to open.
The only way to get that door code is to correctly terminate 2 modular plugs and then use their tester to reveal the correct code. Opening number 1 on the left is a standard wiring configuration for a Cat 5e plug, also known as an Ethernet. They'll have to strip the cable, untwist and arrange the wires into what's known as a 568B pattern. Opening 2 on the right has a special wiring configuration they'll need to follow very carefully. Once they're wired, they'll connect their tester to both openings to get the door code. If they do any of this incorrectly, they'll get the wrong code and the door won't open. Once they punch in the correct code and they get the door to open, they'll walk through, hit the button to stop the clock, and they are done. They'll be judged on workmanship, safety, and time. But in this fourth and final stage, there will be a 7-minute limit. Any team that doesn't open that door gets 0 points for workmanship, which is 70% of their score. So the stakes have never been higher. All work must meet National Electrical Code standards.
So it's going to go on this side. What are we hitting? Oh, what are we hitting? Let's make sure we know what button are we hitting.
And so it's a pivotal stage 4 as Team Gray talks it over. Eric and Tyquez.
You can barely see the numbers.
Greg Anlicker looking very confident with Noreen, his student apprentice, at his side. Right now, Team Black building an already substantial lead, but with the scoring twist in round number 4, this fourth stage, things can change in a heartbeat.
Close this out.
Finish strong. We started strong. Let's finish strong.
Here's Chip to start us off. Get your air horn ready, Chip.
Here we come in 3, 2, 1.
Thank you.
You see the gloves are literally off for stage 4.
That's correct, Jason. This is a different type of work. This work requires dexterity. They need to remove those gloves so they can sort through the wiring.
Yeah, get it.
So 7-minute time limit. What's the most important part of this work?
Don't get excited. We got this.
So being the first event here that's counting backwards, if they don't finish that task and get through the door, they're going to lose 70 points. This is a deal breaker. What I see here is they're working on different ends of the door. They're working through these really tiny wires. They have to color code them correctly. Let's see what happens.
All right, so you hear them listing off colors.
There's 8 conductors in each one of those cables. They've got to separate them so they can see what color combinations are going to which part of the connector.
What can you compare this kind of work to?
It's kind of like sewing. So they have to work that thread through the needle here, and they only have one shot. If they get all those wires through the connector, Jason, and they crimp it down, if they don't get it correct, they got to cut the end off and start over again.
Timing matters here. Every point matters for Team Gray trying to come back against our 3-time individual champion, Greg Anlicker, and his student apprentice, Noreen Buckley.
Take your scissors, cut the edge square.
You just never stop teaching as a professional journey person. I really like what they're doing here. Eric, he's teaching Tyquez how to make this connection up properly. He's showing them to use the scissors to make the end of those wires square so they can get them through the
Make sure
connector.
your colors are right before you crimp
Hey,
it.
Tyquez, you got to cut them all square, then push them through the connector. It's nice to see that he's always teaching. That's a true professional journey person.
Data.
Team Black already has the door code. Unbelievable. They're going to try it. Greg punches it in.
It's green.
Oh, it opens. The green light. And Noreen gives it the old Rosie the Riveter to hit the button. And that is quick work. Wow.
They got it.
That's right.
That's right, we got it too. Where's my tester? What is it? Read it
They
out.
have different colors and they have different stripes.
5-1?
5-8. I'm sorry.
5.
You have to get it correct.
1,
There's no
7,
second chance.
2.
5.
So they got
1,
the
7,
2
2.
numbers transposed for a moment. And now they got it right. Team Gray is through the doors second. And they hit the button. Eric and Tyquez finish in second.
It's all over now.
In time.
Then I'm on the other. You have to push it, make sure you get it in all the way.
Yep.
Crimp it down.
Under 30 seconds to go.
They're making the final connection on that module plug. No, that's the wrong device. That goes on the right side of the door.
5-1.
They're not going to get the correct code. That's the transmitter. That goes on the right, the receiver on the left.
Down to 10 seconds.
3, 6, 8, 5.
They can't get the code correct, Jason. They're not going to be able to get through that door.
3, 2, 1, and that will do it. The lights go out on Team Blue. And stage 4 ends for Kristen and Alex, but a valiant effort for Team Blue.
Bummer.
They say you.
We award our winner next at the 2020 IDEAL National Championship Invitational.
The 2020 IDEAL National Championship Invitational is brought to you by IDEAL Electrical, the electrician's champion. Rocket Mortgage, home loans that fit your life. Rocket can. And by Discount Tire, let's get you taken care of. The Rocket Mortgage Rewind shows you what the competition has looked like here at the 2020 IDEAL National Championship Invitational.
Yes. All right, let's go.
6 electricians at the top of their game left it all on the floor for the chance to win that golden ticket to Nashville.
Yeah.
Jason, Scott, back to you.
Thanks, Chip. Our final challenge was truly a race against the clock. Here are the final tallies. Team Black and Team Gray both unlocked the door for success, while Team Blue could not escape our challenge in time. Team Black gets the victory. Greg Anlicker and Noreen Buckley are your champions, and they get the golden ticket to Nashville in 2021. For one final time, let's head down to Chip Wade on the competition floor. Chip, take it away.
Congratulations to you both. That was awesome. You guys worked so well together. How cool is it to meet someone for the first time and then just have a chemistry and a working chemistry that works so well?
Yeah, it was pretty amazing. I was a little hesitant going into it, but we communicated a lot beforehand. We communicated during the challenges, and it paid off.
Awesome.
Yeah.
How do you feel now, Greg?
Well, Noreen plays down how good she is. Like before every round, she'd be like, well, I'm not very good at this part, so you can do it. And then every time I turn around, she's like right on my tail. Like the termination, she did the oddball termination, and I think got done the same time or faster than me. Like I didn't even have the connector open for her in time.
Well, I think she's coming after you.
Yeah.
2021 is right around the corner, and something tells me you guys might not be on the same team anymore, but direct competition. We'll see what happens.
All right.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Nice job.
Thanks, Chip. So Noreen Buckley joins up with Greg Anlicker. Greg wins again. Noreen does a wonderful job. Your final thoughts from this competition?
It was a great competition. Greg Anlicker with student apprentice Noreen Buckley. They were able to accomplish the tasks that they were given. Real tough work. They didn't know their skill level when they were first brought together. And look at what they did. They accomplished quite a feat.
Always great to be with you. A pleasure to enjoy this together once again. He's Scott Karen. I'm Jason Benetti. Team Black are your champions in 2020. Thanks for joining us.